Welcome to my gardens again. It is May 4th. A lot of changes. Things like the Adams Geum are in bloom. This is a tangerine. They'll give you totally tangerine. All my candy corn spireas leafed out. I have iris galore. Even my sedums are growing out. This is a lime twister. This one's changing on me. I'm not sure. But these are idle iris. It's a magenta with a kind of peachy outer petal. These are the Marseille Prince. These are dark red, almost black. They should be blooming in a day or so. I got some nice peach ones. Come through here. This rose hasn't bloomed yet, but a ton of buds. This is a pale pink. They give you Gentle Hermione. Most of my roses are David Austin roses. This is a Darcy bushel. To give you an idea, we had a little rain today finally, but that's what they look like. Very fragrant. I have a Graham Thomas. Pale yellow, little peach. Again, very fragrant. There's dozens of buds all over this one. Here's one of our old ones. This was on the property. When you talk perfect rose, right there. This was what long stem roses are all about, and they're very fragrant. I have a coral one. I don't know the varieties too, because these were on the property for decades. And then we have a tea rose that I found, tucked away, and it's a dark red tea rose. The peonies are ready to pop. This is a Bartzella. They're 6-7 inch blooms. Let's come back over here. My allium's still blooming. This is the new area. It's coming along. I'll go through a couple of those. I have my yellow iris. These are Harvest Memories. Harvest Memories. My sea thrift is blooming. I just moved that Russian sage. It was tangled up in the phlox over there. I untangled it. It took a while, but and then there's another Adams Geum. It's a darker orange. This one. This is why I put signs on everything. I know what it is, but this way for people watching the video, it's a Scarlet Tempest. Is the color of the Geum. So phlox, gold, double plate gold spireas, double plate candy corn spireas. A great one that most people aren't aware of, beard tongue. I love these because the foliage color. So you get that deep purplish red leaf So there's always contrast against all the green. You have a wand flower. These get clusters of pink flowers on these, on that variety. One of the cool ones I just added. This is a Cat's Pajamas Catmint. I've had these for a while. But a blue bug loss. The blue it's like a cobalt blue. It's very, very vibrant. And it's great against the spurge with the variegated leaf and the yellow flowers. I have my dahlias in buckets right now. I've taken them out. It looks like I only lost 2. Didn't survive the overwintering inside. Looks like they just dried out. But the gardens are coming along. The yarrow's starting to push up blooms. The odd thing is, I didn't realize I had this many concertina iris. These are very peachy, like a pale peach with a purple beard. I'm gonna dig a bunch of these out because I have, 1 cluster, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 clusters of these. I have no idea where they came from. I didn't realize I had that many. But this is a perfect example of proper separation of iris. Usually a clump this size, you're not going to get sparse blooms. Most of the blooms will be on the outside. These were separated last year, so they're not crowded. The children have been removed, and basically that's what this is. It's parents and children blooming at the same time. So I need to break these up. I'll probably trade or more likely just give them away because I have no place for them. There's an odd purple one growing in there, so I'm not sure how that got in there, but it could be a mix. The crepe myrtles leafing out. My wisteria, and before everyone goes into a pearl clutching moment, they're starting to open. This is Amethyst Falls. This is an American variety. This is native to the U.S. It is non-invasive. It's very controllable. It does produce smaller blooms, but it's still very fragrant. Here's one of my other iris. This is one of my favorites. This is called Rockstar. I've had them for a while. My lilies are coming up. All the Joe Pye weed. Here's another iris. This is a variegated. Has like it comes out. It starts as a dark purple, but then it turns more violet. Let's see, what else have we got going on? There's always something going on here. Yeah, like I said, you see all these concertina iris. It's crazy. The bridal spirea is just starting to drop the petals, as you see on the ground. But there's still new fresh blooms coming. Yeah, one of the sad parts of our garden, and this happens. So these peonies have been on this property for a long time, decades. They were behind the house, and I moved them many years ago. And this is how full they are. They'll get like 4 or 5 feet tall. The blooms are, last year we had 8 to 9 inch blooms on these. This plant is full without any issues. The one next to it, I have 2 stalks coming up. Over here, I have 1 stalk, and there I have nothing. So I'm not sure what happened. Uh, it's, you know, yes, everything dies, but it's just odd that I have one stalk, nothing, two stalks, and then a full plant. So I have a Sarah Bernhardt that I want to put in there because that's basically what they are. But until I figure out why they didn't come back, I really don't want to waste another plant. This is a crimson one. My knockout's just starting to, you know, bloom, and then we'll go around. There's lots of changes going on. You know what? I'll cut through here. Yeah, so this new section's coming along. You know what? I'll come back around. I still have the time to get in all my white iris. All three clusters here are all white iris. These are great. I love these. They will rebloom too. They're the immortality variety. Some of my vegetables, I got red bell peppers. This is a hybrid. This is a dwarf beefsteak. So the small plant, but it produces like 3-inch tomatoes. There's all my dahlias. I gotta get those in the ground the next day or two. Cucumbers, rosemary, chocolate mint. I gotta take those phlox out. The Major Wheeler honeysuckle is just starting to open. You know, I already saw a hummingbird, so starting to get dark here. But yeah, another beautiful iris I have. Alcazar. I have a couple of these around. Come through here. Roses are coming back that we thought we'd lost. The honeysuckle is just taking over, which is the idea. The clematis is in bloom. This is a great one. I love this one. And then the roses, I have another clematis here. This is the second one we've had on this side. It's struggling a little bit, but you know, we'll work it out. The roses are starting to bloom. So on the right side, it's a red with a white painted stripe through them, and then this side is a cream rose. So you get it. It's a James Galway. More white iris. And the red with the painted white is called Cancun. Let's see, because it's getting dark, the peonies will start closing. But these are the Misaka peony. I'll come around here. Yeah, so they start closing. So it's a pink and cream peony. They're beautiful, and they love it here. Some coneflowers, obedient plants. They're all coming in. They bloom later. Someone asked me about this one. This is a Zachrab coreopsis, so it's almost like a shrub. They get about maybe a little bit bigger. But they're great because they don't go crazy. I have two more roses over here. It's a yellow rose in the back. That's a 20-footer. And the idea is to fill this whole arbor. And the one in front is a Dublin Bay. That's like a really, really dark red rose. Some of my Siberians are starting to bloom. I have dark purple, light purple, and yellow. I had red, but I don't know what happened to it. I may have lost one. My blueberries are blueberrying. I finally took out the rest of the compost container. Cabbage is getting big. Broccoli's getting big. No florets yet coming out. It's still got time. And I apologize for it is what it is. You know, maple seedlings, they are everywhere. In the back, nothing's really changed. Some of my rhododendron that I have left are blooming. This is a Happy Jack clematis. This is a dark purple. So just gotta get it to grow a little bit more to tie it to the wood ring. Yeah, not much. You know, my Empress Wu hostas are getting bigger. As you see, the maple seedlings are literally everywhere. That's why I don't mulch yet. There's my other Empress Wu. Here's the other side. They started budding. This side gets a little bit more sun. These are good shade plant, and they were part sun. These are a ground orchid. Let me see if we get one that's open. It's a great contrast plant, especially with a variegated leaf. Yeah, trying to get this in before it gets too dark. Columbine, I lost one of those. I had a red one. I'm not sure what happened. Oak leaf hydrangeas are coming in. Yeah, my compost units are done. These two are empty. I have a Concord grape on this side. I have a Thompson green seedless on that side. I have two coral honeysuckle that within a week have grown about 1.5 to 2 feet. So honeysuckle is what it is, and in this environment with an arbor like this, it's perfectly fine. Some people say it's too invasive, but you know, it'll work fine. The red twig dogwoods are in bloom. This is a Bailey red twig dogwood. This is one of the greatest dianthus. Let me find it. Tag on this one because it's all far down there. So this is the fire witch. It just a sea of pink and purple. They last for a while too. Come through here. I see my lights are coming on, so it is getting dark. But you know, I've been outside. It rained today, finally. I'm looking forward to. I have a cluster there, and let's see how they're doing over here. I haven't checked these in a bit. So they're budding. I struggled with this set last year, but this is a aquas. So these are a bright blue, blue on blue on blue iris. So we'll see how they work this year. But as my lighting comes on, they're all solar. Not all of them kicked on, I guess, because it was cloudy and raining all day. That's the downside of solar. My big rhododendron, I talked about on one of my videos. We'll see. It's starting to bloom. Back here you got a couple blooms. You also have a bunch of new growth. So maybe with all the work I've done to try to save it, it may be misshapen for a bit, but to replace something like this would be impossible. This is probably 40-50 years old. But this is my garden at dusk. I wanted to make sure I got it in. I'm trying to do videos every week. My phlox is starting to drip out of the old olive pot, which is the intent. Yeah, with everything now growing in, I need to move my lighting because that light is supposed to highlight our T-Rex coming out of the garden. This is an underrated plant. I love these. These are Jupiter's beard. It's a great cluster flower. Has a decent scent to it. It's not too much. This is all my milkweed that's growing in. But yeah, so the next couple days I got to get my dahlias in because once I unpacked them, they're starting growth already, and everything's going. If you blink in my garden, you will miss a flower, and that's the downside. Because now, spring is here. Everything's starting to bloom, and it blooms quick. But then I have a lot of blooms, like the iris will go, but then a lot of the plants come in. I have a lot of false sunflowers. They'll start blooming in June. And I have things that bloom all the way through winter. All my helleborus. So it is a cycle, but if you do blink, you will miss it. If y'all have any questions, looking for suggestions, if you want a video on a specific plant or specific topic, let me know. Like my video, subscribe. Looking to try to expand and help out as many people as possible, because that's what this is all about. It's trial and error. Some things are doing great. My helleborus are huge. My rhododendrons I struggle with. Hydrangeas we struggle with, except for the oak leaves. My peonies, this is all right here. This is all peonies. There's two colors. There's a magenta and a pale pink. And they'll be opening soon. Pretty much as the iris start dying back. But gardening is a science and then also a mystery. Sometimes some things work, sometimes they don't. And it's, for me, I want to know why, because I don't want to make the same mistake. But it's the fun part of gardening, and sometimes the mystery is the mystery. Because that still comes up in two apps that I have as a tea plant. So I'm not sure it's a camellia tea plant. I know I didn't plant it, but that's a mystery. And I found other plants in my gardens over the years. I've found lilies that I know I didn't plant. I have a salvia coming up that I know I never had the salvia there. So it could have been, part of compost. It could have been, something, who knows. But looking forward to comments, questions. But yeah, this is a New Jersey gardening in first week of May. So thanks for watching.